Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Terrifying moments tonight if you're just joining us.
Oh, there's gunshots.
The Choctaw football game against Del City, multiple gunshots. People went scrambling.
What is going on?
What's happening?
There was one shot popped off as I was leaving already on back to my side, and more shots were fired next.
She heard two more gunfires if they were shooting back and forth at each other, and they took off running.
I believe that there's 4 victims with gunshots. One has been treated and released, and again, it's a pretty large crime scene.
Grab my arm, Karen. Oh my God.
One of our officers was involved, discharged his weapon.
I want to bring the people in that are responsible for this.
Our News 9's Tevis Hillis, we're going to be talking with her momentarily as well. She went right over to OU Medical Center.
A very scary scene we saw unfold earlier this evening.
Parents are, moms are upset because they can't find their kids.
One parent found out on Facebook about the shooting, and I myself sent my daughter off to a game tonight. So you send your kids off to these games, the first game of the season, for them to support their school, have fun with their friends, and it's just unfortunate that something like this happened.
A difficult morning as we report a mass shooting happened at last night's Choctaw Del City High School football game. This morning, we'll bring you the very latest information with live team coverage that's straight ahead. But first, we say thanks for joining us Saturday, August 26th. I'm Tevis Hillis. Let's get first to meteorologist Andrew Adams in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Andrew, how's the weekend looking?
It's looking good, not going to block it. There's our big blue line. The cold front's actually already coming through Oklahoma. With that sped up cold front, I think this afternoon looks nicer for some Oklahomans. A little bit of rain out in the panhandle, some light showers ongoing. We're going to have kind of a double front come through overnight. We'll get our front that brings us the chance for rain. But overall, you can already see it. Northwest wind coming in to Oklahoma City as that service front has passed through Next Gen Live Doppler radar. All those little wavy lines, those little gravity waves produced by this front as it comes through. Behind it, look at that cloud cover up in Guthrie. A gorgeous morning, very still wind in Guthrie right now. Those flags aren't budging an inch on our Lucky Star Skycam network. And most of us are still very warm. You're going to notice that even though we will have a northwest wind, we're not going to cool down until much later and tomorrow. Right now, temperatures in the upper 70s, low to mid 80s. In the metro, it's 84 right now in Moore, 79 in Enid. Out in the panhandle, we already see some of that cooler air. Upper to mid 60s. It's 64 out blanketing in Cimarron County out there. But there's that northwest wind. Again, like I said, already cutting into the metro. A bit breezier up to the north central portion of the state. 15 to 20 mile per hour gusts. Windier out west as well. As we go through the day, our winds mainly between 8 and 18 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies throughout. Still 93 by lunchtime. So it's still a warm day ahead and certainly hot. You definitely can call it this afternoon. 99, our high here in Oklahoma City. Tomorrow looks a whole lot different. We'll see what this front brings to us and when our rain chances get the highest coming up from the Bob Mills Weather Center.
All I know was I was with a group of my friends. We were on Del City side, and students started running. They said there was a gun shown. Everything seemed fine. The police were going to look. Next thing we know, there was one shot popped off as I was leaving already on back to my side, and more shots were fired next.
Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office is investigating a mass shooting at Choctaw High School. It happened during their football game against Del City last night. We know at least 4 people were shot, 1 treated on scene and released. News 9's Addie Crawford joins us live from the school to start our team coverage. Addie, good morning.
Good morning, Tevis. Now, still this morning, no suspects are in custody, but what I can tell you as I look here, there's daylight. I can see there's marching band equipment and personal items just still left in the stands this morning as people had to just abandon everything they were doing as soon as they heard these gunshots. It was a fun Friday night football game turned into gunshots and chaos.
Oh, there's gunshots.
video broadcast capturing that terrifying moment. You can see players and fans running away from the Del City side of the stadium. Those 2 gunshots rang out during the third quarter, with shots hitting at least 4 people, according to Choctaw Police. Now, 35 officers from several agencies springing into action. Del City PD telling News 9 one of the department's officers was caught in the mix.
One of our officers was involved, discharged his weapon, but as far as at who or if he hit anything, I really don't know at this point.
3 people were detained, according to Choctaw PD, but PD says they cannot tell us if these people are involved in this shooting. Again, no suspects in custody this morning. In Choctaw, I'm Addie Crawford, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
Addie, we'll talk to you in just a few. The superintendents of Choctaw, Nakoma Park, and Mid-Del schools putting out a joint statement following last night's shooting. The district saying, in part, our thoughts and prayers go out to all affected by tonight's incident. Both districts are working jointly with the police presence from Choctaw, Del City, and Oklahoma County in an ongoing investigation. The police will provide further details as they become available. And Mid-Del Public Schools implemented new security measures this year for their home football games in an effort to keep students, their families, and other school personnel safe. Those measures include fans walking through a new weapon detection system before entering stadiums. Fans will not be able to re-enter the stadium if they leave. Middle and high school students are required to wear an ID to the game, and middle school and elementary students must be with a guardian. Also, no bags are allowed unless it is a clear plastic tote. Firearms, weapons, and explosive are prohibited from Mid-Del Public School campuses.
And good morning, everyone. It is 9:30 on a Tuesday morning, and boy, we never thought we'd see this in downtown Oklahoma City. A man is climbing the outside of the 50-story Devon Tower, and you're watching it unfold live right here on News 9. Lacey, this started about 50 minutes ago. We got the call in that he was about on the 10th floor, and it appears he is trying to make it to the top of the Devon Tower, 50 stories high, right in the heart of downtown Oklahoma City.
And this was very strategically planned. As soon as we went on the air with it, that's when a public relations firm sent out an email blast explaining exactly what was happening. This is 22-year-old Mason DeChamp. He does this in major cities across the U.S. He calls himself the pro-life Spider-Man, and it is his message against abortion in the U.S. He's done this in New York, recently in San Francisco, now coming to Oklahoma City. He is doing a free climb, so he has no ropes, nothing attached to him if he falls, and the winds are high today.
In fact, we want to get over to Hannah Scholl to talk a little bit about the winds, because I don't know if he factored in Oklahoma wind when he picked downtown Oklahoma City and the Devon Tower to pull this stunt today. Hannah, where are we right now on the winds?
So currently winds are sustained at 22 miles per hour, but of course gusting higher than that. They're coming from the south. He's on the west side of the building. It looks like there are little things that come out of the building that may protect him a little bit from the wind, but the further up in the atmosphere you go, the winds pick up a little bit more, and you're not shielded by anything like trees or other buildings, so the winds are definitely very strong where he is now, so high up in the air at this time. The most recent gust here in Oklahoma City has been 31 miles per hour, and that is something you're definitely going to feel. You can see his clothing blowing around, but as far as heat goes, he's really not dealing with a whole lot of heat, but we are expected to get into the 90s later today. 79 your current temperature in Oklahoma City, but the main threat for him is going to continue to be the wind as we continue to follow his climb of the Devon Tower. Guys, back to you.
Hannah, thanks so much. We want to talk with our Jim Gardner, who's in Bob Mills Sky News 9 above the scene right now live. Jim, is he slowing down a little bit?
No, he's not. He's not slowing down at all. In fact, he is almost to the top. As he pull back here, he's already right there, even with where the it's going to peak out right here. We're just talking. We don't know if he's going to go all the way to the very peak of that building or what's going to happen here, but he's only got, he really don't have that much farther to go. He is really climbing at a fast pace here, but like I said, you can still see the fire department and other people on the top of the building. They're waiting for him. So we're just deciding what he's going to do here, whether he's going to go all the way to the very peak of that building, or if at some point they're going to tell him he's going to cut over and go over to where the firemen are. It's going to be interesting what's going to happen here, because like I said, he is almost there, and he is still climbing at about the same rate he was when we arrived on scene. I can tell you right now, with me, I'd climb one floor and I'd probably fall off. That'd be it for me. I don't even know how they do this, but he is almost there, and we'll just keep you updated. Jim Garboin live from Bob Mills, News 9. Back to you.
All right, Jim, and we are now getting calls from News 9 viewers who say, I saw this guy climbing the Devon Tower on Sunday night, possibly practicing. Now it's making sense because they thought, that's weird to see somebody climbing up, and it was a little, it was in the dark apparently, and so maybe that was his practice climb leading up to today's live climb in the daylight.
You mentioned that he has done this in other cities, as you mentioned recently in San Francisco. He also in New York climbed the New York Times building. Let's go to our Jordan Daphnis. She is on the ground there in front of the Devon Tower at 333 Sheridan Road in downtown Oklahoma City. Jordan, I don't know if you've been able to speak with law enforcement, but we were hearing one person had been detained. What are you hearing?
You know, I have got here, they were still trying to figure out who this person was, and so they were speaking with people. There was a guy shooting some film on his phone right behind me. I thought he was just a spectator. Police came up to him and started asking him, and apparently this Mason Deschamps, who's climbing up this building right now, had contacted a few people once he got here to Oklahoma City, questioning as well. So now there's two people who have been questioned by police. They said it's pretty good for me to say that this is Mason Deschamps up there. They're still working on solidifying their end of everything. I want to show you guys what it looks like here on the ground. You can see police and fire department gathered right here, and then there's a whole host of spectators. That's why I almost didn't think to notice that someone was filming this. Maybe they know who this person is. Everyone was asking me, who is this? So now that we're learning more information, it does seem that this is someone trying to make a point and spread a message, and so he's climbing up that building right now, like you guys said, getting toward the top. Everyone here is just working on wanting to keep him safe and everyone on the ground safe as well, and so we'll keep you updated as we continue to learn more information. For now, live this morning, Jordan Daphnis, Oklahoma Zone, News 9. And
I'm trying to count. It looks like he is about 7 floors from the top left side of the peak there, where you can see police are waiting for him, and he did move over to the left, so it looks as if he might be just going straight up and most likely into the arms of Oklahoma City Police.
Into the arms of our great rescue force, Oklahoma City Fire and Police. And again, here is a photo from inside the Devon Tower as employees said, what the heck's going on out here? Snapped a photo. That is Mason Deschamps. I'm not sure how to say his last name. The guy climbing up the Devon Tower right now, and he is almost to the top of it.
The Devon Tower soars over 800 feet above the city streets. This building is an architectural beauty. I mean, it is like the staple of downtown Oklahoma City. And at the top is the Vast Restaurant. I don't know if he will actually make it on that side of Vast Restaurant, but could you imagine either working in that building or being at the top of the Vast Restaurant and seeing all of this unfold live? So we're just trying to get our bearings of where he is. He is very close, and you can see just a couple of floors away from making it to the top of the Devon Tower. We've been watching this unfold live right here, and I know we're supposed to be going to a break, but it does look like he is very close to getting to the very top of the building and into police custody.
Yeah, our photographer on the ground says he's so far up, the climber is, that he can't see him in his camera lens anymore. So we're going to rely on Jim Gardner's shot right here as the climber gets closer to the top. His press crew claiming that in the past month, Mason has scaled 3 skyscrapers in major U.S. cities, including the Salesforce Tower in San Francisco and the New York Times building in Manhattan. They're also offering up exclusive video and photos from today's climb, so they were very prepared for what was taking place.
All right, there you can see him. You can almost even see his shadow on the backside of that, and we've got a glimpse of him now. He is about 3 floors away, it appears, from the top where police are waiting for him. We do know a person with a drone at the bottom. There he is so close. And a person on the ground with a drone. Jordan even alluded to it, that she saw the young man, and he is in the back of an Oklahoma City police car right now. And it does appear that Oklahoma City Police and fire there, it looks like communicating with him. You can see he's got his hand up. It looks like he's trying to talk with them. And he is continuing to climb, and it does look like just, 1 or 2 floors left here.
Our Oklahoma City firefighters well versed in this type of what they will call a rescue. A couple years ago, they had some window washers that got caught in high winds. They had to rescue them using this very same platform they're now standing on to take this guy in, make sure he's okay, and then it sounds like he will be arrested for trespassing and not sure what else, but he's prepared for that. His press team saying he only ever gets arrested for trespassing, and that's it. It's a quick turnaround, and then he's back out doing interviews about his cause, which again is against abortion. He's calling himself the pro-life Spider-Man.
Well, it looks like he is thinking about what his next moves are going to be, because he obviously did not get off there. I was just looking at the top. I don't know, Jim, if you can pan up. It looks like there is just something at the top of the building there. It looks like a little flag or something. I was trying to figure out what that is. Oh, it just might be some type of equipment or something. I don't know. It's it looks like going up to the very top, and this is that peak, on the side of the tower where it just peaks up, and so it looks like he is making his way all the way up to that peak of the Devon Tower. So he is about at 50 floors right now. Was he 22 years old, Lacey?
22.
22. Mason Deschamps is his name. Hopefully we're saying that correct, but he definitely is making himself known across the state of Oklahoma as we are live this morning. And this has taken about exactly 1 hour, because at 8:40, I was in the newsroom, Lacey and we started hearing some scanner talk, like someone was climbing the outside of the Devon Tower, and we were like, there's no way. And of course, we immediately made the call to Oklahoma City Police, and they said, yes, it is confirmed. There was someone on the 10th floor, so he probably started just around 8:30, 8:40.
Just got an email from a News 9 viewer that says, hey, we're at an event at Vast. We've been taking pictures of the climber. We'll try to send them to you. So Devon Tower is still bustling with business, and everyone's looking outside, looking up, trying to get pictures of this guy, wondering how exactly he's going to get down. I think that's what he's talking to firefighters about now. Does he just slide on the glass on the backside? Does he come down and they hook a rope to him? They are literally talking this through 900 feet almost up in the air.
I don't know if we can talk with Jim Gardner again, but Jim, are you with us? And he is, it looks like, gonna, well, I don't know, Jim, now maybe he's moving back down a little bit.
Yeah, Robin, I think he wanted to go all the way to the peak, but I think they've kind of talked him out of it. So now he's going to come back down, and we'll see what, it looks like he's going to come back down and then move over here. But like I said, he was going to try to make it all the way to the very point of the Devon Tower there, and then I don't know whatever they said to him, but evidently they convinced him to come back down here. So hopefully he will get off the building here in a minute, and like I said, when he does, he's probably going to be immediately taken into custody here by Oklahoma City Police and Fire Department. It looks like they're trying to talk maybe the best way to get down and the safest way to get down. Of course, after scaling that building that's almost 900 feet tall, I don't know if I'd be worried too much about a safe way. He looked pretty agile at climbing that building there. So, but they just want to take everything into account, make sure he gets off safely here, and get him into custody, and then we'll go from there and see what happens here. But right now he's just staying on the edge right there. It's just almost where, almost to the top of that spear there, to the point. And so I don't know what they're conversing about right now, but he was going to go to the top of that, and they talked him back down. So now they're talking about, I guess, him coming off the side of the building there. So we'll just keep the picture up, keep showing you, and we'll see what unfolds here. Jim Gar reporting live for Bob Mills, Cody's 9. Back to you.
Right now on News 9 at 9, as war rages on in Israel, we explain how the conflict got its start. It's coming up.
Today feeling like summertime, but I'm tracking another strong fall front. It brings a threat for some severe weather.
And it's election day in Oklahoma. What voters can expect at the polls.
First, here's your snapshot for Tuesday, October 10th.
Overnight, landmarks lit up around the world, from the Eiffel Tower in Paris to London's Parliament Building to the White House in Washington, all glowing blue and white in solidarity with Israel.
The forces of civilization must support Israel in defeating Hamas.
Responders are not immune to the struggles of mental health.
Tonight, there's a new push to offer support targeted at firefighters across the state.
We get phone calls frequently from firefighters that are asking for help with counseling services for different issues that they're experiencing as a result of being a firefighter in the field.
USFA is hosting a fundraiser, No One Fights Alone. Money raised will help ensure firefighters have a place to turn.
Here we go. The Oklahoma City Thunder is back on the court tonight.
Healthy, everything you want. Spurs #1 draft pick Victor Wembanyama, as good, maybe better.
That was a fun game to watch last night. I think the Spurs and Thunder should play at least once a month.
Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Thanks for joining us here on News 9 at 9 a.m. I'm Lacey Lowry.
I'm Robin Marsh. We are glad you're with us for the next hour. Lacey Swope here, kind of looking at the radar,
Yes.
and nice start to the day.
Not a lot going on radar
Yeah.
across Oklahoma for now. We are watching a storm system in the northwest. That's going to bring a cold front in. It doesn't arrive till Thursday evening. In the meantime, we're warming it up. Today's going to be a beautiful day. We're talking 80s on the way. We've had some 40s out the door earlier this morning. Now we're warming up, full sun. We had a cold front that moved through yesterday. It's kind of stalled out. It kind of washes out across the state, but that is our next weather maker, dumping heavy rain now in portions of Oregon, Washington state. That eventually kicks up its heels here across Oklahoma, and I'll show you the impacts in just a little bit. Dry on Next Gen Live, a Triple C cam. We'll find it. 62 degrees. Southeast wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. 58 in El Reno, 63 in Moore. You'll have to take my word for it. There's no cloud cover. It's all sun. 58 degrees in Chandler, 61 in Shawnee. Hour by hour sunrise at 7:32. That was earlier this morning. Now the sun won't set until 7:02 between now and then. South winds at about 10 to 20, and we are headed into the mid and upper 80s. But I told you about the storm system coming in from the northwest. Eventually, that sets up a dry line across Oklahoma. The cold front slams in. Storm chances go up. We'll talk about the threats for wind and hail and how cool we're getting behind that thing in just a minute.
Lacey, thank you. Israeli rocket blasts shaking Gaza this morning after the Israeli Prime Minister declared war in retaliation for the deadly Hamas terrorist attacks that started over the weekend.
The forces of civilization must support Israel in defeating Hamas.
More than 1,500 people have been killed since the surprise Hamas attacks on the Jewish state began Saturday. The White House confirming at least 11 Americans have died, with an unknown number of Americans still missing. Hamas also claims to have taken dozens of Israelis hostage.
We know this afternoon President Joe Biden is expected to address the country about the fighting going on in Israel. The president and leaders of France, Germany, Italy, and the UK releasing a joint statement pledging support to Israel and condemning the terrorist group Hamas. Some state and local leaders say they are heightening security at Jewish synagogues and schools, though the FBI says there's no specific or credible intelligence indicating any threats to the U.S. stemming from the attacks in Israel.
Shockwaves also being felt here in Oklahoma.
Among those impacted are high school students in Bethany who participate in a school exchange program. Each year, Israeli high school students actually come to Oklahoma to Bethany to visit. An Israeli student that visited Oklahoma last year says she is currently sheltering inside her home with her family.
It's kind of a weird feeling. There is no school. There is like everyone at homes. And there are a lot of missing people. You don't know where they are.
Students at Bethany High School say they are sending love and prayers to their friends and their families.
I miss you so much.
Miss you. Miss all y'all.
All of you. We don't really have an understanding of what they're going through, but we just try to be for them and support them.
We are told most of the exchange students from Israel from this year are home or heading home to make sure their families are safe.
Pressure is mounting on U.S. House Republicans this morning to select a new Speaker of the House in the wake of the attacks on Israel.
The House GOP is holding a private candidate forum today. There is an internal vote set for tomorrow. News 9 Storm Jones joins us here at the desk this morning, explaining why it's so crucial for the House to get things in order and get back to work on this.
Yeah, Robin Lacey, simply put, no Speaker of the House means no work can be done. That means not approving any additional funds for Israel. Can't even really approve a resolution condemning these terror attacks on Israel without a Speaker of the House. Now, the U.S. does provide Israel already with more than $3 billion in military aid every year, and the Biden administration says they may need more aid. The additional action from Congress does, however, require a Speaker of the House.
So the big question, how close are House Republicans to becoming united?
Well, hopefully we'll learn more after that meeting happening today, but there are two men in the running, Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise. Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern had kind of toyed with the idea, but he said, look, if we just have two men, that'll narrow the choices down and hopefully we can agree on one of them. Take a listen.
Especially what we're seeing right now with Israel, I think it's time that we do everything we can to unify our party.
So the issue right now is neither Jordan nor Scalise have enough support to win over a divided Republican Party, despite both of them pushing for the GOP to come together.
We've got to get back on track. This is a dangerous world right now. Let me say it again. We stand strongly with Israel. The House needs to get back to work.
We need to give Israel the time, the space, the resources so that they can win and win decisively.
All right, so here's some numbers for you. There are 221 Republicans in the House. They need 218 votes to elect a speaker, so a very narrow majority there. Also, another curveball, former Speaker Kevin Hern, who was just ousted last week, is kind of toying with the idea, saying he'd be open to having the job again. So maybe this isn't a two-man race like we thought. Representative Matt Gaetz, who ousted McCarthy, says he wouldn't bet on it being just a two-man race.
For Kevin McCarthy to jump back in. So we'll see that. So, of course, the funding for Israel top of mind, but the shutdown of the government is looming, and we're really facing a time crunch here. What is that timeline, Storm?
Currently, it's less than 6 weeks. We saw last time we went to the 11th hour to get it done. It was a brief extension. The government's set to run out of money in about 6 weeks.
Wow. A lot of issues and very pressing, all of them rolled into one. Okay, Storm, thank you. A competency hearing is underway right now for the man accused of killing Oklahoma County Sheriff's Deputy Bobby Swartz. Police say Benjamin Plank, right here, shot two Oklahoma County deputies back in August of last year as they served an eviction notice at a home in southwest Oklahoma City. Deputy Swartz died. Deputy Mark Johns survived but was severely injured. Benjamin Plank is facing several charges, including first-degree murder and shooting with intent to kill.
Also happening right now, the Innocence Project and District Attorney Eric Johnson is asking an Oklahoma district judge to vacate the 1988 conviction of a man named Perry Lott. Perry Lott was actually released after spending 30 years after a jury found him guilty of first-degree rape and robbery. The Innocence Project launched an investigation which discovered Lott's DNA was not recovered from the victim's rape kit. The Pontotoc County District Attorney declined to vacate the conviction, offering to modify Perry Lott's sentence to time served. Lott's attorney says that he accepted the deal to avoid more years of court battles.
And now to the state Supreme Court, where a case of alleged hazing and abuse involving the head football coach at Kingfisher High School is set to be heard this afternoon. Court documents outline nearly 2 decades of alleged abuse that students say they faced at the hands of head football coach Jeff Myers. State Superintendent Ryan Walters and the Kingfisher School District are also named in that lawsuit. The hearing starts at 1:30 this afternoon. We will be there.
Also, the Deer Creek Board of Education approves the former head baseball coach Roland Baza's resignation last night. Parents say that Coach Baza made his players drag their knuckles across the hot turf. Here's some pictures. A report from the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office shows the incident involved at least 19 juveniles. And we do know that the school district has filed a case with DHS, so this story far from over, even though the head coach has resigned.
Oklahoma is one step closer to having the nation's first taxpayer-funded religious school. The statewide virtual charter school board approved the contract yesterday for St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School. Governor Kevin Stitt and State Superintendent Ryan Walters are in support, but Oklahoma Attorney General Gentner Drummond says the school is unconstitutional and he plans to take legal action. A lawsuit to block the school's creation is also moving through the courts.
Big story developing from the Oklahoma State Supreme Court. The High Court here in Oklahoma upholds a ban on gender transition surgery for children. Now, lawmakers passed Senate Bill 613 into law earlier this year. The ACLU said yesterday, we will continue our fight in defense of our clients and the constitutional rights of transgender people in Oklahoma and across the country. Now, we spoke with the author of the bill that became law. She says she believes the law protects Oklahoma children.
I think it just kind of reiterates that fact that children probably shouldn't be in charge of big decisions like that. They are children. So I feel like the court sort of sided with the state of Oklahoma as well as the people of Oklahoma.
Representative Hassenbach reiterates the law that was passed only bans the procedures for minors. Oklahomans 18 and older will have access to those surgeries if they choose so. Well, it is back to school time, and as students return to learning, there is a renewed focus on the ongoing youth mental health crisis.
Joining us to talk more about it, Brandy Gaither and Bonnie Campo from the State Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. Thanks for talking with us this morning.
Thank you for having us. Good morning.
We'll start with you, Brandy. What are you guys seeing as far as trends, or what are you noticing with kids, especially as we all head back to the classroom?
Yeah, so post-pandemic, schools are seeing an increase of mental health concerns among their students. In most cases, students are actually seeking mental health services at their schools. Some are actually experiencing mental health crisis at their school site. Each district has their own mental health protocol for crisis, so teachers and administrators should follow that. Additionally, and this may not be a surprise, but schools are also seeing an increased mental health concerns among staff and teachers. Should teachers or staff feel any stress or burnout, they should feel free to call 988, which we'll talk here in a little bit about it.
Life is just overwhelming for so many people right now. Bonnie, I know you guys have been going to schools. What are you hearing from the teachers and the students? And I love some of the pamphlets that you just brought. I mean, it's just no struggle is too small, and your mind matters, right?
Your mind matters. So this is a coloring book that we can give to teachers and kids. And if you flip through, it's going to have just positive affirmations kids need to know, and that no struggle is too small for those that need just a little bit of help. And so, teachers, guardians, kids, they all need to put just as much good stuff in here as what they might see online or the bullying in schools.
Reinforcements are inside the classroom for them to see, like, I'm struggling. Oh, I can look up and see, hey, maybe I do need to talk to someone.
Well, and you said don't wait till it gets to the point of crisis always.
It's okay to just say I'm having a bad day, and you can call or text 988 as a resource. And so kids don't often want to pick up the phone and call someone. But through this specific campaign, we've been to Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Grove, Veneta, Duncan. We're going to OSU's Back to School Bash very soon. We are covering all of Oklahoma, reached about 16,000 folks because they're going to want to know 988 is on the back of school IDs now. Wow. We're trying to explain what that is to the whole community of Oklahoma.
You said a lot of kids are seeking these services. What types of things are we talking about? Is it stress? Is it anxiety? Is it all of the above? Kind of talk to parents just in case they're like, oh, maybe that's what's wrong with my child and I can't quite get it out of them.
Yeah, there are various warning signs that your child may be struggling, and feelings of hopelessness, sadness, substance use, and also poor academic performance are all signs that your child might be struggling.
How do you start that conversation with your child?
Just having that open conversation, sit down and have them talk through their feelings and emotions. 988 is a good resource to call, and they can help you start that conversation with your child. And we tell people talk, because they hear you. right? And so it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but just keep that conversation going. And whenever they need you, you're going to be there.
You know, the one thing I like just even about the conversations, I just know how Lacey and I are. I sit next to her here at work, and it's like sometimes I'll be like, you know, I'm kind of struggling with this. And she's like, oh gosh, I was too. Like it fosters conversations that you're not weird, you're not alone.
No.
You know, because sometimes you think, oh my gosh, I'm the only one going through this.
Yeah.
And I just love the message that you're doing. And with 988, there's so much help out there. Brandy, Bonnie, thank you guys just for being here today.
We appreciate
Good
it.
We're excited for
reminders.
the school year.
Yeah, absolutely. 988, such a great resource.
And you can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the board.
College football, our countdown has gone from days to hours now.
We're ready to get out there, set the name right, leave a legacy.
On the sideline and caught for a touchdown.
It's going to be like another guy who's sitting on the sideline just as eager or even more eager just to get in the game as you are.
There's a new coordinator and a new scheme on defense for Oklahoma State. Brian Nardo.
I believe in relationships, and to see them buying into it makes me realize I came to the right place.
I do think we see a better Cowboys defense this year. Expect to be great. Don't forget that.
Excited to play ball. We've got a bunch of guys that are incredibly hungry to go get it done.
Dives! Touchdown!
Can't wait to see y'all this Saturday.
Let's go.
I've got chills. We're game day ready. OU and OSU, they're kicking off their 2023-2024 college football season tomorrow. The Sooners facing Arkansas State.
Meanwhile, the Cowboys taking on Central Arkansas, both games at home. In a special edition of Pep Rally Friday, we are live at both universities. We first go to our Jordan Ryan. She is in Stillwater right now, fired up and ready to go. Jordan.
Hey, you guys, I'm with the rowdiest party in college football, I think, and one of the rowdiest game day hosts, Les Thomas. Okay, this is a huge season for you guys. You've sold out on season tickets. Why do you think that is?
That's because, you know, the atmosphere here is amazing. It's second to none. The fans, we love each other. It's about Cowboy family, so it's sold out. Excited about the season. Coach Gundy got the team ready. We got a new defensive coordinator and Coach Nardo. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, I love it. Okay, Les, and you bring such a great atmosphere to these game days. What do you bring to the table that makes it so special?
Well, so here the thing is, like, being here, being ready, having the orange, this is my aid. This right here, that people don't understand that this is my secret sauce. When I put this on, look. Let's go, boom, let's go. So the secret sauce to it is making sure we get the fan rowdy, doing orange power, and making sure that they have everything that they need to get going for the game to help our football team win. Yeah.
Okay, Les, we've only got about 30 seconds left. Can you show us one of your game day traditions?
All right, so when Pete has his gun, he shoots his gun, and we gonna go, oh, you gotta do your left hand, S, U. All right, so here we go. Boom. Oh. S, U. Cowboys. Yeah, there we go.
That is amazing. All right, I am ready for game day. I hope you guys are too. We're having so much fun here in Stillwater with the rowdiest party in college football. I'm going to send it on over to our Haley Weger, though.
Stillwater and fired up. And we should mention the former prom girl at OU.
Oh, Holly. Yeah, she's about to go for it, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
Hi, Thomas. Good morning. I am so excited to be here, like you said, back at my alma mater here on the University of Oklahoma's campus. I know Jordan said they're rowdy out there, but I think we're pretty rowdy down here, gearing up for the first OU game day. They're playing Arkansas State tomorrow at 11 a.m. And I mean, there's so much energy on campus this morning, so much going on. They're so excited for the first game day of the year. Here I've got Sophia. She's a senior here at OU. And just tell me a little bit about your favorite parts, the best parts about being on OU Spirit. Yeah, I mean, there's 120 Spirit members at the University of Oklahoma, so there's a lot of us. A lot goes into making sure that we're getting ready for that game day. So yeah, it's a super fun time. And what is your favorite part about an OU game day? I mean, it's an unbeatable experience, but what's the best part? Yeah, walking into that stadium and seeing like 80,000 people, I mean, nothing beats it for sure. And it is your last first game. How are you feeling going into tomorrow?
Yeah, it's definitely a bittersweet moment. I mean, I've been cheering almost my whole life, so it's sad, but it's also super exciting. So yeah, I'm excited.
I can imagine. I still remember my last first game, just an unbeatable experience. And I don't know, Jordan, we're pretty much bringing the energy here in Norman. So we'll kick it back to you guys live in Norman. Haley Wager, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Haley, give us a palm move real quick. We'll move the camera back over to Haley. Let's see her in action.
She can do some kicks.
Come on, Haley. Show us something good. Oh, here she goes. Yeah, let's go, Haley. Oh, look at her go. There you go. Uh-oh. Jordan's got some competition.
Haley hasn't missed a beat since
She
she's
has
graduated.
not. There you go.
There she
Looking
goes.
good, Haley Wager. Hey, here's the game times and everything. First, Arkansas State. It's an early game down in Norman, 11 a.m.
And at the Boone Pickens Stadium, 6 p.m. kickoff against Central Arkansas.
Hey, welcome back. Lacey Swope and I had so much fun recently. We went frog gigging in an Oklahoma pond and had an absolute blast. We're not very good at it, and that was so much part of the fun. You can find bullfrogs in most ponds across Oklahoma. The key is that bullfrogs thrive in ponds without largemouth bass. So that has been a big question. Where do I find them? If you've got largemouth bass in a pond, probably not a whole lot of bullfrogs around there, but it's so much fun if you can find a pond that's just chock full of them.
There's so many of them, and people don't even realize, because how many times do farmers, ranchers, or just landowners go out with the spotlight, you know, at night and check their ponds?
Yes.
They may be in there, and lakes, some coves as well. But the thing is, they are regulated. So we had so much fun going out with the folks from the Department of Wildlife Conservation and learned there is a daily limit. They're 15. Which you think about that, that's 30 frog legs. 15 is the limit. If you're fishing for them, which we did, which was a blast, you have to have a fishing license. If you're gigging for them, you have to have a fishing license as well. Now, some people shoot them, you gotta have a hunting license to do that. But you do have to be licensed. Just make sure you know
all
what
the
you're
regulations. It's so much fun.
Yes.
And the best part is we brought home what we caught.
Yes, and we're so excited to share with the folks here at News 9 and with you how to cook these things, because just like anything you harvest, the fun is doing it. The fun is when you're out having the fellowship with your friends and loved ones, and then coming in and cooking it. And of course, we're Southern frying these babies today.
I love this. Have you had fried frog legs before?
I have once, actually, with Amanda Taylor.
Oh, there you go.
We were in Louisiana.
Not what I thought you would say. Okay. As you know, they're very, very famous for
Yes.
being a Cajun delicacy, but a French delicacy as well. So this is a hot commodity. And of course, across Oklahoma, so many folks love them, but it's almost like you don't hear about it as often. And so we just want to rejuvenate you. If you're looking for something fun to do, go out, get them. Now the meat, look at this. Okay, so it looks like a chicken breast, honestly.
wow, yeah.
It's just a big muscle. So you take them, you have to skin them. Okay, you want to get the skin off
difficult?
because it can be.
It can be,
If
yeah.
you do it when they're fresh, I will say it's easier than if you throw them in the freezer and do it
It was
later.
like pulling pantyhose off of somebody. Like
That's what it
real
looks like.
tight on
yes.
those legs.
And there's actually a tendon that runs in here that'll kind of make them kind of draw up when you fry them. So if you take that out, that won't happen. Some people fry them with.
Are you saying if you don't, it looks like they're kicking?
They will almost look like they're hopping.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotta
And
be
then
honest. Oh
the
my
feet
goodness.
of them, some people fry them. So basically, you just put them in here. I've got to do weather after this. This is going to be interesting.
That's okay. I can
So you
help
take
if you
it.
need.
Oh, you can. Okay. So you take egg. Put an egg on there. Now
Okay.
you could put some milk in here. Some people do buttermilk. Some people, I watch some of the Cajun recipes. This is how I know all this. And some people do milk that they'll put in the freezer or the fridge overnight, let them soak. But essentially, to chicken fry anything, all you do is just batter it all up. Get some egg on there. I like to put a little bit of seasoning. My husband uses this on everything.
What is
It's like
that?
salt, pepper. I don't know. It's his like seasoning he puts on all meat, all game. I don't know. So I put that on here. He keeps this jar around. Sorry, babe. It's got a little frog juice in it. It's okay. So you season the heck out of them, okay? Because the more pepper, the better. Season that up. Put it in here. Then I've got flour, a little bit of cornmeal. Corn mix, you can do whatever, and then more seasoning, a Cajun seasoning of any kind, Old Bay, that's all delicious. This is Cajun two-step, which is like popular right now.
And do you put that into?
So I put
the
it all in
mix?
here,
Okay.
into the bag. Sorry, yes, I'm not Karen, as you can tell, not
No, we're
sassy
good.
mama.
We're good.
Then you put,
you're
you
sassy.
drop this in here. I like to do the bag just because, you know, if you're chicken frying something, then it's a lot less messy.
Throw it away when
There
you're
you go.
done.
Throw it in there. What are you gonna do with that, Storm?
And,
Thanks.
here, just
Listen, this looks like my kitchen. This is how my kitchen looks all the time. Okay, then you mix it all up.
Yep.
Yep, and then we're gonna drop it in the fryer. Now, you want your oil to be super, super hot. So this is the Fry Daddy, and this is the Fry Daddy my husband and I have had since college, so our entire adult lives together. And this has fried everything we have cooked. Now the grease is probably not quite hot enough because it should just be going.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna fry, but I got some right here that I want you guys to try to see what you think. Those are right there, golden crispy brown. This should take about 3 or 4 minutes, honestly. You want them to cook to about 145 degrees. You can also smoke them, which I've never done, but people do it. And there they are. There they are. Those are ones I cooked earlier. Check it out. Storm, grab one.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab.
Yep,
I'm gonna grab
get
this
one.
Hey, you know what a frog's favorite restaurant is?
What?
IHOP.
You're ridiculous. Okay, so one of the keys also, I will say, is this brown bag. I don't know if you saw this sitting here, but if you're frying anything, if you save your brown bags when you're grocery shopping, then put it on there and it'll dry it out real good.
That's so good, Lacey. Oh my God,
What do you think?
delicious.
Tastes like chicken. Hannah, you want some?
So the texture is exactly like a chicken wing.
Same thing, just
Dark
like a chicken
meat,
wing.
Juicy, tender.
Delicious.
Yeah, delicious.
Because we had a lot of people ask, what are you going to do with all those frogs?
Yes.
We're going to eat them, fry them up and eat them.
Yes, and we're having a great
It's
time
not
doing
like
it.
gamey or anything either.
Not at all. You would not know that it's not fishy, you know?
You throw that in a KFC bag, you'd fool me.